What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Vesteban's Blood Box. Yeah, I'm gonna do that every time now. That's my thing. So, I'm working on my death growl. I don't have it yet. I'm working on it. I'll get better. But yeah, thank you all for being here. I have had quite a few new subscribers since the last episode, so thank you to everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I genuinely appreciate it. This has been fun, just hanging out, talking about music, and I've got some comments from you guys too into some of the same music as me, so I appreciate that. But yeah, today I am just here. I'm going to do a quick update on some of the recent albums I have gotten in the mail. I've been doing a lot of purchasing on Bandcamp and from local record stores, filling in some spots in my collection. So just going to give you a quick rundown of some of the new things I got. There's some metal and some non-metal stuff here. So to start with, I've been wanting to get this for a while. This is DRAB Majesty's Modern Mirror. Killer band if you are into synthwave and goth and definitely that 80s vibe. This is definitely the band to check out to start with. There's lots of really good bands out there doing it, but this is definitely the one that is rising to the top of being accessible across multiple listeners out there. So they're very popular, but they're really good too. So definitely check this out. Yeah, killer album. Not a lot to say about it. You probably already heard about it. Just good, solid stuff. Second was one I was surprised to get to pick up, which is the re-release of Luster's 2012 They Awoke to the Scent of Spring. This is actually the first album from Luster I heard. They did just release a new album as well, but it's great, but I had to kind of choose between that or this. So I wanted to get this one, because again, first album from them I heard. New album artwork, as you can see, if you are familiar with them. Good stuff. Single LP, but it does come in a gatefold, which I personally appreciate very much because I do love my gatefold vinyl. Killer stuff. If you're not familiar with Luster, it's ambient, atmospheric black metal with some synth stuff in there too. If you're a dungeon synth fan and a black metal fan, this is a good crossover between them. Luster's been around for a while, kind of one of the forerunners of that really super synth atmospheric black metal. As you can see, unfortunately, did get a little damaged in the mail. Luckily, the vinyl is fine. I mean, I'm buying them to listen to them, not necessarily collect them, so that sort of thing doesn't bug me too much. And also, we gotta have a little leniency with our post office right now. Those people are working their asses off and under a lot of stress, so something like this, not a big deal. I can live with it as long as the vinyl's okay. Let's see here. Next up is a non-metal album, but comes from a metal person. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with MYRKUR. If you are, then you're definitely going to be familiar with this album. Just recently came out. Folksange, I think is how you say it. Folksang. This is MYRKUR's acoustic, I'd say, album. Uses a lot of traditional folk instruments on this. All the songs are based on old Scandinavian tunes. I think there's some covers of old Scandinavian folk songs and also original stuff on here. I'm not really a huge MYRKUR fan. Nothing against the band. Very talented musicians. Just the first two albums didn't really click with me. We all have our preferences. But this one's awesome. I really love this. I know it's a little split in the metal community. Some people are so-so about it. Some people love it. I personally really like it. It is, for being based on old Scandinavian folk tunes, what I have seen said about this that I would agree with is it's a little more of a poppy folk record. Not pop like you'd think of, Britney Spears or anything. Shit. But a little more old folk songs brought into the modern era. Pretty easy to listen to. Definitely something I think anybody would probably like quite a bit if you listen to it. But regardless, done really well. She does use all traditional folk instruments on this album, so definitely want to check out. In that same vein, I have a new band that I just recently found called ELDRIM. Let's see if you can see it there. So this is their CD in a very nice, hard booklet. So similar to MYRKUR in the sense that they use all traditional Scandinavian, if I'm not mistaken, Norwegian folk instruments. Here is a awesome photo of the instruments that are used on this record. You can see there. So yeah, they use all of these. Really good stuff. Now this, I would say, is not so much a pop folk record. This is very much true to form of, like, you know, your Viking music, your Scandinavian folk music. Definitely true to the originality of that. So definitely check this out as well. I'm going to say definitely check out to every album I have. Probably you're going to hear that say that phrase over and over, but definitely check this out. So I actually found this band. Me and my partner were looking at YouTube videos of hurdy-gurdies. That's how we started it. If you're not familiar with that instrument, check it out. It's a hurdy-gurdy. And got into the wormhole on YouTube of looking at a bunch of cool old folk instruments that have been used over the periods, and came across a video of one of the members of this band playing I wrote it down, I'm probably going to mispronounce it, but a gnaal, G-N-A-A-L. It's basically a bowed lyre. Pretty sure it's in the photo here. It is this long, skinny instrument right here. So it's them playing that. Really cool. So how you play it is, you just put your fingers on the strings, and depending on where your finger is where your note is. So like most stringed instruments, but there's no board, there's no fretboard. So it's played with the bow, and then you get your notes through there. Pretty raw, rough stuff in the sense that pitch is not as much as important as the feel of it. But they have made some gorgeous music on this album using all of those traditional instruments. Definitely an indie band. As it says in the credits of this, they wrote, recorded, mixed, and mastered the album themselves. They got the booklet together and did all the art direction themselves. All of the photos in this book were taken by the band. As you can see, it's a nice little booklet that comes with it. So this is all done by the band. I'll post a video that's a link to the video of the guy playing that instrument that I first saw from them. I'll also put their Bandcamp on there. Their Bandcamp is on that video too. That's how we found out about this. A little more than I usually like to spend on CDs. It was about $25, but for obvious reasons, you get this awesome booklet, really nicely done and put together. Also, it ships for free to anywhere in the world, and it ships out of Norway. So when you take that into account, it's a great deal. It's $25 flat fee, no matter where it's being shipped. Even if this thing was $10, it would easily be over $25 after you get the international shipping going on. So, highly, highly, highly recommend ELDRIM. Check that out. Let's see, what else we got here? Oh yes, some additions to my, I don't know what you call it, Cosmic Black Metal collection. This has been a release that's gotten quite a bit of buzz. This is the MARE COGNIUM and SPECTRAL Lore split. Their second split, I believe. The first one was called Sol, S-O-L, and was a concept album based on the sun in our solar system that both bands participated in creating songs around that. This is their second joint release. This time, it's a really ambitious album. They have gone through, as you can see in the album artwork, and have wrote a song for each planet in our solar system. And to my knowledge, from what I've read on this, in the liner notes too, is they have sort of created their own mythology behind the planets. So it's not so much based in ancient mythologies or Greek or anything like that. They actually sort of came up with their own mythology for it. And each band takes turns, so you'll have, MARE COGNIUM doing, I don't remember the order exactly, but you'll say they do Earth, and then Spectral Lore will do Venus, and then they go back and forth. And on the final song, they jointly together wrote a song for Pluto, so they did include that on here too. Stellar packaging on this. As you can see, it is quite a large album, 3 LP in a tri-gatefold. Really cool stuff, really well done. I know these guys are pretty indie. MARE COGNIUM, the guy behind that, has the label that this was put out on, if I'm not mistaken, which I think is Entropic Records. I think that's his. So all put together by them. Atmospheric black metal again. As you can tell, I'm a big fan of that stuff. But that's definitely the vibe going on here. Epic songs, very big, depending on which planet you're on here. They did a really, I think, a good job of capturing each planet in a musical way. Also, this one's really cool because it's got a very nice colored vinyl, and all three records on this have the same style. As you can see, really cool, matches the artwork really well. Also, it is sold out. They sold out of this, I think, in the pre-order or pretty quickly after it was released. But they said they will be re-releasing it. So don't pay the flipper prices on Discogs for it. They're going for quite a bit on there, but they said they will be doing another edition of this. So hold out, have some patience, and you can get a copy of this if you want to on vinyl soon. Again, killer stuff. I'm a big fan of MARE COGNIUM, becoming a fan of Spectral Lore because of this. So, while I'm on my cosmic black metal stuff here, I also picked up this, which is a new band to me. Some of you have probably heard of them. They're on Avant-Garde. This is MESARTHIM, I think is how you say it. MESARTHIM, yeah. This album is Pillars. Similar in the sense that it's all based on the universe and stars and things like that. Really cool album. Found out about this through the channels online, kind of going from MARE COGNIUM. They pop up in a lot of similar places. Cool album artwork, as you can tell. This band they're a little more on the synths come up a lot in some of the music I'm talking about, but they have a lot more synth textures to represent sort of the outer space and the universe and things like that than MARE COGNIUM does in Spectral Lore. So a little heavier on that, still got some cool black metal stuff. Catchy tunes, I would say, actually. Like the MARE COGNIUM album and Spectral Lore album's more of a true black metal, a little bit harsher. This one's a little more... Again, I hate using the word poppy because it's not poppy in the sense that I think of when I hear the word pop, but a little more catchy, a little more rhythmic in that sense. I don't know, something like that. Anyways, blah 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 blah. Killer album, check that out. Pretty cheap too. I can get it for about $20. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Amazon Prime's delivering something. There's probably more stuff for me out there. That's what that beeping is. Yeah, so another thing I'm really excited that I just got is ASTER WREATH. This is Some Small Star. This is a local guy based out of St. Paul. Folkvanger Records, which is a record label I really, really like. They do all cassette releases. Originally released this in a short run, 25 cassettes. Sold out in the pre-order, so I missed my chance on it. But the dude put up some bootlegs on his Bandcamp. Bootlegs meaning they're just not through Folkvanger, but still really well done. I think he probably did them himself, but again, good stuff. This, I would say, is... I don't know if the band would describe it like this, but this is kind of like depressive suicidal black metal. I don't know what the content is, but the music sounds like that. Like maybe some of Thy Light, or maybe a little Austere in there too. So if you're into that sort of stuff, definitely check this out. If you were fans of some of the stuff in my last video on Funeral Doom, you probably would dig this too. It's 3 songs. Atmospheric black metal vibes in there, mixed also with, there's some strings, violins, violas, live drums, which is cool, especially for kind of indie dudes. Usually programmed drums are the way to go, but there are live drums on this. Really cool album. Definitely check this out. I've got a shirt on the way too, so I'll probably be wearing that in my next video. But ASTER WREATH, Some Small Star, yeah, check that out on their Bandcamp. And last but not least, I talked about this album last week, so I'm not going to talk a lot more about it, but I got my ULKUM CD, which I'm really excited about. Really fell in love with this after checking it out for the last review. As it said, I haven't opened it yet, but you get the patch with it too. Just a reminder for anybody who might have purchased the CD or will be purchasing it. The first 3 songs are the KFAI live recordings that sound like studio recordings. I couldn't tell they were live. Those are what are on here. Supposedly due to a pressing error at the CD plant, The 3 rehearsals are not included on the CD, but you do get those in the digital copy of the album when you purchase it. So that's why they included the patch with it, was to make up for those 3 rehearsals not being on the CD. But trust me, it's worth it just for the other 3 songs alone. I think you still are getting in the realm of about 30 minutes of music just with those 3 songs. So full CD in my book. Stellar release. Really good Funeral Doom stuff. Definitely check it out. I'll put their Bandcamp down again too if you're interested. So, yeah, that's what I've gotten recently. I've got more stuff on the way, and I'll do another sort of genre video here soon. So, again, I appreciate you all checking this out. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. Having fun talking to you guys in the comments, and also hanging out with some of the other metal YouTubers. So, I appreciate it. We'll be back soon, and stay safe out there, my friends.